Welcome to the graduation ceremony for graduates of the Faculty of Commerce and Management and the Graduate School of Management. In a few moments, the graduation ceremony will commence. The procession of staff will enter first, followed by the dais party. I will signal to you that you are to rise and remain standing until the staff and the dais party processions are seated. Please do not stand until I ask you to. May I also remind you that flash photography is prohibited in this auditorium. For the mutual comfort and enjoyment of all members of the audience, the University requests your cooperation in observing this rule.
Mrs. Yvonne Bain, AM, Professor Roy Webb, our Vice-Chancellor of Griffith University, members of the Griffith University Council, distinguished guests, graduands, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Council of the University, I extend a very warm welcome to everyone present for this graduation ceremony. It has always been the custom for Griffith University and its guests to gather to celebrate the conferral of academic degrees on its graduates. These occasions hold very special significance for the graduates, for their families, for their friends, and of course for the entire university community. In whatever capacity you are here this afternoon, you are most welcome. I extend a special welcome to Mrs. Yvonne Bain, who will receive the university's honorary degree, Doctor of the University, this afternoon. Mrs. Bain will also address us later in this afternoon's proceedings. In the life of the university, graduations are frequent, recurring events, but their importance never diminishes and they never become simply routine. Each ceremony is unique in its public acknowledgement and reward for each graduating student and for their efforts and for their hard work. The honour we do to our graduates reflects as well on the university, the creative mould from which their achievement springs. Griffith University is well known for its innovative and interdisciplinary approach to higher education and its breadth and diversity. Today, we honour graduates from the faculties of Commerce and Management and from the Graduate School of Business. Griffith, of course, has many points of distinction. Its spread of campuses is a case in point. The campus on the Gold Coast, which has been growing continuously. The new campus at Logan, where all subjects are being developed in the flexible delivery mode, together with Nathan, Mount Gravatt, the Queensland Conservatorium and the Queensland College of Art, combined to make up a strong university now catering for some 21,600 students. Ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to be associated with a higher education institute which is as progressive and innovative in its outlook as Griffith University. At Griffith, we are committed to excellence not only in the development of our academic programs, but also in the pursuit of new knowledge and in placing the university's considerable cultural and intellectual resources at the service of the wider community. In the full tradition of the high-ranking universities of the world, strong focus is given to both teaching and learning and to research. The Faculty of Commerce and Management continues to be a major growth area of the university's offerings. Business studies are an important ingredient in the skills of any graduate who has ambitions in the business world, whether that be in large corporations or in small business. Many of our graduates this afternoon will have been exposed to international issues during the course of their studies. It is certain that Australia will become more and more part of the global economy. The days of isolation for any country in the world are becoming things of the past, and you will face global issues in business to a greater extent than has ever been experienced previously. The School of Information Systems and Management Science has successfully relocated to the Logan campus. It offers students experience with state-of-the-art software and technology, especially for e-commerce, through its joint education program with IBM. Although the school attracts many foreign postgraduate students, it has identified a large potential market for Australian postgraduate students. Consequently, the school has maintained its postgraduate enrolments despite the Asian economic downturn. The Bachelor of Leisure Studies continues to be a highly sought-after course with on average 6 applicants for each available position. The school is one of the top 3 in Griffith University for first preference applications. The quality of its course is well recognised, with recent graduates now working for the Sydney Olympics and the Corin Cove Resort. Another student, Melinda Craik, won the Patient Tom Scholarship for Honours Study, while research papers prepared by the School of Leisure Studies students won awards from the Australian Council for Health, Physical Education and Recreation and from the Australian-New Zealand Association of Leisure Studies. The School of Management is forging close links with the Logan business community. Its Teaching and Learning Business Index provides the opportunity for local businesses and industry to mentor students. The index also enables the school to foster education and research in business management. The GSM, the Graduate School of Management, is introducing innovative new subjects to its MBA. These are in the areas of leadership and communication and were recommended by a 5-yearly review of the course by an expert panel drawn from industry and from education. The great assets of this university include its high-quality staff, several of whom are sitting on the stage. The academic staff are complemented by adjunct and honorary staff who have substantial practical experience in business or government. I am pleased to be an adjunct professor in the Graduate School of Management and welcome leading discussions in the MBA classes at the Gold Coast and Nathan on such diverse subjects as industrial relations, international negotiations and strategic management. The MBA course is adding to the international links of Griffith. The MBA now includes students from more than 30 countries. Many of the overseas graduates have now returned home, which is why they are not all actually here to graduate personally today. Fundraising by the Griffith University Fund has enabled the university to award the inaugural John Willett Scholarship for Study for an MBA to a medical doctor from Shanghai Medical University. The scholarship is open to applications from overseas students from developing Asian countries who would not normally have the financial capacity to study at an overseas university. You may all know John Willett was the university's first Vice-Chancellor. The Graduate School of Management has been chosen by the Australian Institute of Company Directors to be the sole provider of its highly acclaimed Company Directors course on the Gold Coast. In addition to its MBA courses, the GSM now offers a Master of Technology Management course in Australia, in Singapore and in Malaysia. Let me return now to you, our students, who have completed your studies and are ready to receive your rewards today. You have completed another important step in what will be a lifetime learning experience. You have demonstrated a command of the knowledge and skills necessary for your chosen field of endeavour, as well as willingness to persist with the level of discipline needed for high achievement in any field. Together, these qualities provide an excellent foundation for establishing a successful career. You, our graduates, today join an impressive company of people who have gone before you and who have already achieved success and acclaim both in Australia and overseas. As our new graduates, you will, I am sure, make an equal contribution. As we continue with this afternoon's proceedings, I express warm congratulations to each of you and extend to you our best wishes for your lives ahead. Thank you. I now call on the Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Professor Bill Lovegrove, to introduce the Deans who will present the graduates from their respective faculties who are to receive their awards at this ceremony.
Deputy Chancellor, Professor Peter Brosnan, the Dean of the Faculty of Commerce and Management.
Deputy Chancellor, I present graduates who have been granted the Bachelor of Arts in Leisure Management. Virginia Barclay. Cameron Bartlett. Tanya Bell. Lyndall Buckingham. Martin Canavan. Anne Craig. Brendan Dyer. Terry Evans. Stephanie Flaherty. Sean Garland. Nathan Gordon. Marissa Gurney. Ashley Henderson. Luke Jenkinson. Marianne Lakidis. Jane Lawson. Wade McCrell. Justin McCall. Brent Messer. Ian Mills. John Moran. Robert Norrington. Scott North. Scott Pierce. Natalie Pegg. Kate Rawlings. Stephen Richard Preston. Todd Samarovsky. Kay Schultz. Juanita Servan. Fiona West. Jane Young. Jennifer Young. Deputy Chancellor, I present two graduates who have been granted the Bachelor of Arts in Leisure Management with Honours Second Class Division A. Michael Fallu. Brad Hill. Deputy Chancellor, I present a graduate who's been granted the Bachelor of Arts in Leisure Management and the Graduate Diploma of Korean Language, Deborah Kim. Deputy Chancellor, I present two graduates who've been granted the Bachelor of Business, Rodney Lachlan. Scott Springer. Deputy Chancellor, I present graduates who've been granted the Bachelor of Commerce. Amanda Lee Adams. Susan Arnautvik. Scott Barkley. Christopher Baskerville. Isabel Batista. Emma Beardsley. David Bell. Angela Bennett. Mark Bliss. Michael Bohm. Richard Boggin. Timothy Booth. Susan Brown. Sharon Bookbach Elliott. Jeffrey Budd. Santi Burridge. Peter Byes. Rebecca Chan. Alan Chern. Richard Chern. Carmen Chung. Kianming Chin. Sunny Chu. Huaying Chung. William Christie. Bosco Chung. Robert Clements. Paul Connolly. Gillian Connor. Monica Connor. Julia Cook. Peter Ann Cook. Adam Coward. Rosina Crawford. Greg Cullen. Patricia Cuskelly. Sangeeta Das. Reshma Devi. Marianne Ding. Stuart Dennis. Trent Dixon. Sharon Dolbell. Andrea Dragon. Vlad Duganzik. Jenny Earl. Tanya Eldridge. Rodney Farsi. John Farron. Liz Fenelty. Tina Fendel. Robert Fitzgerald. Stephen Foss. Grant Galvin. Catherine Gilder. Andrea Gill. Brett Glister. Ben Gorman. Catherine Graham. Darryl Gray. Karen Gross. Daniel Gullo. Wade Hanson. Ian Harris. Tim Harris. Jason Hartley. Catherine Hawkins. Tricia Henderson. Josh Holloway. Anthony Hope. Trevor Hopper. Malcolm Howarth. Tracy Howley. Chunhui Huang. William Huey. Mark Hughes. David Humphreys. Christy Hunt. Renee Inkster. Rowena Girage. Kenneth Jones. Jonathan Kang. Yoon Kiat Ko. Vanessa Curley. Nina Kao Kirpal Singh. Jay Krishna. Olivia Ki Fu. Paul Lawson. Jae-Jin Lee. Kitsun Leong. Yvonne Lee. Eva Litzo. Zi Lin. Michael Lloyd. Lanny Locan. Felicity Long. David Lonton. Anita Love. David Lucas. Clint Lutter. Susan McMinn. Kelly McBride. Donna McCallum. Vanda McComb. Brett McCready. Duncan McDougall. Michelle McGreevy. Deborah McKenna. Sean McKinnon. Gillian Milliner. Maria Milner. Annette Mitchell. Michelle Mitchell. Vicky Mock. Luzviminda Moran. Brian Morrell. Peter Morgan. Lynette Moxham. Daniel Mulhern. Adele Muller. Nick Murphy. Malini Mutarasa. Heather Miles. Satya Naidu. Celeste Neander. Melissa Nagus. Ian Newman. Sammy Ng. Dale O'Dwyer. Shireen On. Lincoln Patterson. Angela Philp. Suzanne Pinter. David Plonges. Albert Pond. Jodine Powell. Mark Powell. Kylie Prensler. Catherine Provan. Dean Puller. Shirley Quick. Anthony Ragusa. Justine Ray. Adrian Ridderhoff. John Ronchi. Mark Roper. Rebecca Ross. Amelia Rowlands. Andrew Ryan. Jenny Ryland. Inga Saul. Robert Schmid. Helmut Schnettker. Darshana Sedera. Wasana Sedera. Kamal Selik. Bipin Sharma. Kushminder Sidhu. KTM Sim. Jean-Alain Samu Chung. Greg Singh. Simon Smith. Hui Pin Su. Matthew Stokes. Megan Stubbersfield. Handi Sugandhi. Stephen Sullivan. Ki Tuan Tan. Jennifer Tang. Hilary Thacker. Graham Thomas. Margaret Thompson. Mei Yi To. Carol Tones. Dung Tone. Himawan Asman. Glenn Vidler. Christian Vikingson. Darren Voigtlander. Richard Waller. Jennifer Waterhouse. Jodie Watson. Katrina Watson. Chris Webb. Gavin Webster. Catherine Wicks. Deputy Chancellor, the next graduate has also been granted the 1998 Commerce Medal, Kent Wilkes. Toby Wilson. Jenny Wong. Peter Wong. Shirley Wong. Robin Wooler. Alison Wright. Kerry Yip. Kerry Young. Laura Young. Megan Young. Deputy Chancellor, I present graduates who have been granted the Bachelor of Commerce with first-class honours. Mark Brimble. Lynn Clark. Cosmo Howard. Jeremy Nguyen. David Wood. Deputy Chancellor, I present graduates who have been granted the Bachelor of Commerce with second-class honours, Division A. Joanne Carter. Deputy Chancellor, I present graduates who have been granted the Bachelor of Commerce in Banking, Finance and Risk Management. Nicholas Baber. Agnes Bednarczyk. Bobby Lowe. Jennifer Mackey. Minka Slufinski. Tracy West. Deputy Chancellor, I present graduates who have been granted the Bachelor of Commerce in Retailing Management. Rebecca Croft. Nikki Evans. Salvatore Garufo. John Haratzis. Natalie Issel. Nick Keane. Shannon Little. Tracy Little. Deputy Chancellor, the next graduate has also been granted the 1998 Retailing Medal. Karen Matner. Linnell Mogg. Leonie Marie Pugh. Andrew Sercombe. Rochelle St. Ledger. Tony Wharton. Gillian Williams. Deputy Chancellor, I present a graduate who has been granted the Bachelor of Commerce and the Bachelor of International Business, Melanie Bannister. Deputy Chancellor, I present a graduate who has been granted the Bachelor of Commerce and the Bachelor of Science, Benjamin Adams. Deputy Chancellor, I present a graduate who has been granted the Bachelor of Commerce and the Bachelor of Science and the Graduate Diploma of Chinese Language, Zining Wu. Deputy Chancellor, I present a graduate who has been granted the Graduate Certificate in Banking and Finance, Tomi Hardy-Wijaja. Deputy Chancellor, I present a graduate who has been granted the Graduate Certificate in Information Systems, Arpit Kumar Varma. Deputy Chancellor, I present two graduates who have been granted the Graduate Diploma of Business Computing and Information Systems, Sunny Xiao Tommy Udampong Sanon. Deputy Chancellor, I present a graduate who has been granted the Graduate Diploma of Employment Law, Gwynedd Jones. Deputy Chancellor, I present graduates who have been granted the Graduate Diploma of Human Resource Management and Industrial Relations, Lisa Bust. Rob Graham. Michael Guilfoyle. Melissa Jesdick. Eva Corganor. Andrew Lees. Mandy Martin. Janet MacDonald. Deputy Chancellor, I present a graduate who has been granted the Master of Arts in Leisure Management, Chuni Lin. Deputy Chancellor, I present three graduates who have been granted the Master of Arts in Outdoor Education, Bryn Dunlop. Nathan Haley. Heidi Smith. Deputy Chancellor, I present a graduate who's been granted the Master of Commerce in Accounting and Finance, Wayne Lever. Deputy Chancellor, I present graduates who've been granted the Master of Information Systems, Tip Atkins. Stanislaus Benedict. Chen-Yuan Chu. Jitakorn Chumcharoen. Farouk. Uhua Gao. Bing Huang. Venkata Konduri. Fong Lin. Duncan McKellar. Francis Mew. Andrew Pike. Bruce Scott. Thomas Yip. Deputy Chancellor, I present graduates who have been granted the Master of Marketing Management. Suprani Erkajuk. Shirley Campbell. Sariya Chayaya. Eichin Chern. Hagen Fiskvik. Effie Jinting. Charling Xu. Surachat Jaikid. Joran Jensen. Tom Kenny. Adam Locke. Sopapon Poonpon. Andrew Redenbach. Sujit Wadakakasol. Joyce Young. Deputy Chancellor, I present graduates who have been granted the Master of Professional Accounting. Andrew Coldham Fussell. David Eckersley. Mary Marnie. Steve Marnie. Deputy Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of graduates of the Faculty of Commerce and Management.
Deputy Chancellor, Professor Greg Bamber, Director of the Graduate School of Management.
Deputy Chancellor, I present two graduates who have been granted the Graduate Management Qualification, the GMQ. Hung Fai Chung. Gail Ludlow. Deputy Chancellor, I present graduates who have been granted the Master of Business Administration, the MBA. Li Min Cheng. Julie Cheong. Valerie Colasso. Sunday I.G. Peggy Lee. Zhao He Lee. Benson Liliwati. Kel Stewart. Timothy Vlug. Deputy Chancellor, I present graduates who have been granted the MBA with distinction. Peter Evans. Humphrey Roeel. Shani Smith. Andrew Tribe. Deputy Chancellor, I present graduates who have been granted the MBA International. Sopin Prasert Wong Chi. Ray Rajadi. Prachi Ruwala. Deputy Chancellor, I present graduates who have been granted the Master of Technology Management. Roang Tong Bungerd. Ian Buchanan. John Chen. Chu Chu. Kim Chung. Peter Hale. Tanjoring Juwahar. Mark Leister. Mary Lopez. Jarina Mod Hussain. Kari Garlan Remasemi. Porn Samamon Suka Omiya. Ben Tang. Deputy Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of graduates of the Graduate School of Management. Deputy Chancellor, the Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Professor Bill Lovegrove, will now present candidates for the award of the University Medal, and this will be followed by a presentation of candidates for the award of Doctor of Philosophy.
Deputy Chancellor, the University Medal may be awarded to a graduate who has completed the requirements for both a bachelor's degree of the university and a degree with first-class honours in recognition of academic excellence. Deputy Chancellor, I am pleased to present two graduates of the Faculty of Commerce and Management who have been granted the 1998 University Medal. Cosmo Howard. Jeremy Nu Wen. Deputy Chancellor, today the University is proud to honour graduates who have satisfied the rigorous criteria for the award of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Deputy Chancellor, the following graduates have been granted the degree of Doctor of Philosophy taken in the Faculty of Commerce and Management. Dr. Kellett's study examines the origins of the Australian Labor Federation, the peak council for Queensland's trade unions at the turn of the century. It was this federation that founded the Labor Party in Queensland. Dr. Kellett's thesis demonstrates that the establishment of the federation represented a compromise between competing ideologies within the Labor Party, in which its utopian socialist wing was briefly in the ascendancy. This gave Queensland unionism a unique and radical flavour. Deputy Chancellor, I present Dr. John Robert Kellett. Dr. Weerawadena, in his thesis, argues that both technological and non-technological innovations lead to sustained competitive advantage and examined the role of distinctive, innovative capabilities in this process. He found that entrepreneurial firms pursuing the the path of innovation, build and nurture distinctive learning capabilities which enables them to outperform their competitors. Deputy Chancellor, I present Dr. J. Weerawadena. Dr. Broadbent's thesis examines the situation of part-time women workers in Japan and demonstrates that this increasingly significant segment of the Japanese workforce suffers financial and non-financial forms of discrimination on the basis of gender. Dr. Broadbent's empirical research reveals how this discrimination operates, and she shows how the policies and practices of Japanese business, government and unions have reinforced this discrimination through accepting the sexual division of labour as natural. Deputy Chancellor, I present Dr. K. June Broadbent. Deputy Chancellor, the following graduate has been granted the degree of Doctor of Philosophy taken in the Graduate School of Management. Dr. Patricia Janina Sabinski. Dr. Sabinski's thesis extends existing research in the area of company financial distress. It produces a model of failed firms based on a new modelling methodology. The method was directed at greater understanding and explanation of the internal processes of failing firms. This differs from the traditional method, which attempts direct prediction of which all firms will fail. This involves the shift from models based on single equation techniques to multi-equation structures and an extensive investigation of the macroeconomic environment within which the firms operated. Deputy Chancellor, I present Dr. Patricia Janina Sabinski. Deputy Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of Doctor of Philosophy graduates.
Ladies and gentlemen, there will now be a brief musical interlude performed by the Griffith University Collegiate Singers.
poor survivors, I once thought, when I'm home I won't give a damn. But now I know I'm caught, I'll never leave Vietnam. War isn't over when it ends. Some pictures never leave your mind. They are the faces of the children, the ones we left behind. They're called we toy, they're dust of life, conceived in hell and born in strife. They are the living reminder of all the good we failed to do. We can't forget, must not forget, that they're all our children too. These kids hit walls on every side. They don't belong in any place. Their history they can't even hide. It's written on their face. I never thought one day I'd plead for half-breeds from a land that's torn. But then I saw a camp for children whose crime was being born. They're called we toy, they're dust of life, conceived in hell and born in strife. We owe them fathers and a family, a loving home they never knew, because we know deep in our hearts that they're all our children too. These are souls in need, they need us to give. Someone has to pay for their chance to live. Help me They are the living reminder of all the good we failed to do. That's why we know, deep in our hearts, that they are all our children too.
With the authority of the University Council, I shall now confer the degree of Doctor of the University. I call upon our Vice-Chancellor, Professor Roy Webb, to make this presentation.
Deputy Chancellor, the Council of the University has resolved to award the degree of Doctor of the University to Mrs Yvonne Bain, AM. Yvonne Jean Bain was born in Brisbane in 1929. She was educated in Brisbane at the Rainworth State School and Brisbane Girls Grammar School. After her secondary education, she undertook training in the then unusual field for women, civil engineering, and worked as the 3rd Division Officer of the Engineering Branch, Postmaster General's Department from 1945. She remained in that position until her marriage in 1951. From the mid-50s until 1980, she managed the Gowrie Speech and Drama Studios and for many years acted as honorary costume mistress for the 12th Night Theatre. In 1968, she was the first female appointed to the Brisbane Girls Grammar School Trust. Realising the need for training as an educational administrator, Yvonne Bain decided to return to study and enrolled as one of the foundation cohort of students in the then School of Social and Industrial Administration at Griffith University. She graduated with a Bachelor of Administration in 1983. She continued her studies at Griffith and was awarded the degree of Master of Philosophy in 1988 for her research on Commonwealth Post-Compulsory Education Policy 1945-1984. During this time, she became principal of the educational consultancy company Y. Bain and Associates, a position she still holds today. In addition to her busy professional life, Yvonne Bain is deeply committed to community service activities in such diverse areas as arts, education, consumer rights and women's issues. Her contribution to art included, among other things, more than 11 years of service, first as Treasurer and then as President of the Queensland Arts Council. Yvonne's lifelong interest in educational issues is reflected in her involvement as a member of the Commonwealth Schools Commission, Queensland Planning and Finance Committee from 1979 to 1985, a member of the Board of Trustees Brisbane Girls Grammar School from 1968 to 1990, and convener and later Vice Chair of the Centenary Building Fund of that school, a member of the Council of All Saints Anglican School from 1987 to 1999, a member of the Anglican Schools Commission from 1990 to 1999, Chair of the New Schools Subcommittee of the Anglican Schools Commission from 1992 to 1997, and more recently, member of the Queensland Anglican School System Council. She was also a member of the Advisory Committee on Non-State Schooling from 1990 to 1993, and the Advisory Committee on Gender Equity to the Queensland Minister of Education from 1991 to 1993. Her long-term involvement from 1980 to 1994 as a member of the Australian Statistics Advisory Council to the Australian Bureau of Statistics has enabled her to influence and advise this body on the quantification of unpaid work, particularly of women, and the inclusion of service industries in core surveys. She has been involved with the National Council of Women both at state and federal level since 1978. At state level, she served first as Treasurer and later as President, as well as acting as Economics Convener for many years. As a member of the Board of the National Council of Women of Australia, she also served first as Treasurer and from 1991 to 1994 as President. She was also convener of the National Council of Women of Australia seminars entitled Ecologically Sustainable Development, Making the Most of What You Have, and Care of the Carers, and served as a delegate to the International Council of Women conferences in London, Washington, Malta and Paris. At the Paris conference, she achieved acceptance for the National Council of Women of Australia's proposal of a submission to the United Nations for consideration at the Beijing UN conference of issues such as rape as a war crime and economic value of unpaid work. She is deeply concerned with consumer rights and has been representing the National Council of Women on Consumer Standards on Consumers Committee for Standards Australia, and has also served as member of the Austell Consumer Advisory Council. She has contributed greatly to the work of the university, both during her years as a student and as a member of the University Council since 1994. She served as the chair of the University Library Committee from 1994 to 1997 and has been chair of the Griffith University Fund Board since 1996. In both of these roles, her dedication and leadership have contributed greatly to the success of the university's activities. Yvonne Bain was honoured for her achievements in 1990 when she was made a member of the Order of Australia. She is an Associate Fellow of the Australian Institute of Management and a chartered member of the Australian Human Resources Institute. It is especially fitting that the Council of Griffith University should honour Yvonne Bain in recognition of her distinguished contributions to the university and the community. Deputy Chancellor, it gives me great pleasure to present to you Yvonne Jean Bain for admission to the degree of Doctor of the University.
It now gives me great pleasure to call upon our new Doctor of the University, Mrs Yvonne Bain, AM, to deliver the occasional address.
Deputy Chancellor, Mr Norm Fussell, Vice-Chancellor, Professor Webb, members of the Griffith Council, Foundation Chancellor of the University, Sir Theodore Bray, distinguished guests, graduands, ladies and gentlemen. Deputy Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor and members of Council, my grateful thanks are offered for the high honour you have given me in awarding me the degree of Doctor of the University. I feel very humbled and privileged in accepting this honour because I know it is not an individual recognition for tasks performed, but rather recognition of the contribution of hundreds of colleagues with whom I have worked in a number of non-profit organisations over the last 50 years. This afternoon, I wish to acknowledge the presence of my family and of representatives from some of these organisations and thank them for permitting me to work as part of their teams. To the founders of Griffith, I offer my thanks for their wisdom in instituting their policy of offering at least 10% of the places to mature age students. It is this policy which permitted me to enter Griffith and become a Griffith Griffin. The Griffin is part lion and part eagle. In order that the mythological creature can keep its body on the ground to deal with the realities of life, it's part lion, but it has the head and wings of an eagle to permit it to soar to fulfill its own wisdom and vision of life. To all the graduates this afternoon who have completed undergraduate and postgraduate degrees, I offer my heartiest congratulations. No degree is achieved without a team effort from the students, the lecturers, your families, and your fellow students with whom you have worked. Today is a day of celebration for all who have contributed to you as graduates to soar, to achieve your vision as Griffins. As a member of Council, I have listened to occasional addresses on a wide variety of topics from many distinguished people who have been awarded the degree of Doctor of the University, but never envisaged that I would be accorded such a high honour by my own alma mater. For me today, the question was, what topic of an address would be relevant to this afternoon's graduates from the Graduate School of Management and the Faculty of Commerce and Management. What is the topic applicable to all of us and to Griffith University? My answer is lifelong learning. Programs to update learning throughout one's life are beneficial for all of us in coping with the ever-changing society in which we live. And for Griffith University, it is an important goal in its mission statement. Personally, the Griffith experience has been of infinite value and opened up the doors of many opportunities for me. I hope that the Griffith experience opens up even more doors for you as graduates from Commerce and Management and the GSM. I'm extremely proud to be a foundation student in the 5th School of Griffith, the School of Social and Industrial Administration, which was headed by Professor David Limerick. I spoke to Professor Limerick this morning. He'd hoped to be with us this afternoon, but because of family illness could not, and asked particularly that I send on his congratulations as the foundation head of both Commerce, as it now is, and the GSM to all the graduates. There was a spirit of camaraderie in SIA, and mature age students like me and school leavers soon learned to respect one another's strengths. By April 1980, there were just over 100 of us in SIA, and in April 1983, the first cohort of 54 students graduated under the Undercroft at Griffith. Graduation was informal and fun. What changes have occurred since the old cramped Science 1 common room, when we all lifted our elbow together to drink our coffee, couldn't manage any other way, and lectures anywhere there was a spare space. We now have our own building. Postgraduate students in SIA in the early days were research degrees. Today we celebrate the enormous changes which have taken place in the new Faculty of Commerce and Management and Graduate School of Management. Changes in majors within degrees, integrated degrees, and cross-discipline options are now offered. In my lifetime of earning, I have experienced changes from slate pencils, ink pots, and nib pens to computers and the internet and videos as the tools of learning. As a mature age student, Griffith gave me, as it has given the mature age graduates this afternoon, the opportunity to tackle new disciplines and new technologies needing to pursue the path of lifelong learning. In the early 1970s, when the mission statement for Griffith was compiled, the inclusion of lifelong learning was a new concept. Yet today, the latest assessment report on tertiary education, the West report, is titled Learning for Life. Griffith was certainly ahead of its time with its goals of innovation, bringing disciplines together, internationalisation, equity and social justice, lifelong learning. How do these concepts link together? Lifelong learning is the glue which links these concepts together. How will we apply the concepts in any future learning experiences? Often the informal learning experience are both underrated and undervalued. Methods of teaching and learning have both changed dramatically, and there is a greater need for the cross-training, retraining, and training for life skills. The type of post-compulsory education which is being offered for the 21st century is totally different from the limited, rigid, tertiary courses available in the 1940s. To cope with the massive changes which have occurred, ideally we should make the most of learning opportunities from the cradle to the grave. What is learning? Francis Bacon, centuries ago, stated, "Learning hath his infancy, when it is but beginning and almost childish, then his youth, when it is luxuriant and juvenile, then his strength of years, when it is solid and reduced, and lastly his old age, when it waxeth dry and exhaust." Technology has changed the pattern of flexible learning and brought learning into the home, and all generations can learn from one another. For instance, my 2-year-old grandson thinks his nana is hopeless because she cannot work the video as well as he can. Learning is not today compressed into traditional patterns as it was in the past. as suggested by Bacon, and dried up in old age. I'd prefer to think like Thomas Drake, that learning is the eye of the mind. Indeed, today's communication system for the transmission of knowledge has dismantled and eroded the generation gap, the geographic gap, and the cultural gap between people worldwide. Learning is the eye of the mind for education for the inner life of creativity, personal growth, and independent thought, and to the outer life of economic relations, employment, and the consumption patterns, as outlined in the Barry-Jones model of total education. Innovation. Innovation is an important plank in the mission statement of Griffith. As graduates, you are all encouraged to push the boundaries of knowledge, for it is the very important function and factor of the university life to enter into new research fields. In today's highly competitive climate for tertiary educational institutions, innovation is as essential as it was in the beginning of Griffith. Griffith pioneered programs to conserve the environment and natural resources, and programs to seek closer connections with Asia. It also had programs for a higher percentage of mature age students, focus of management training equally applicable for commercial and non-profit organisations, and the concept of alternate models of management rather than the hierarchical command model, where all innovations introduced when SIA was established. Today's graduates have continued the process of innovation by successfully completing a number of specifically oriented degrees formulated to meet the community needs of the next century. Those of us present today from the initial cohort of students in SIA will remember the trauma of having to resurrect maths long forgotten and conquer the intricacies of the old Fortran computer, which was linked to the University of Queensland. That computer had a mind of its own, and whether you were halfway through an exercise, it always crashed. We had to complete the whole of our foundation year to be awarded any credits to the degree, but that wide spectrum of subjects has proved invaluable in the many organisations I've worked in since, and so as it has for many other graduates. For many voluntary and smaller commercial organisations do not have the luxury of professional experts in all these disciplines, and the innovative, integrative model of Griffith meant we gained then, as you have gained now, useful basic knowledge. Other philosophies we learnt were the strength to be derived from the ownership of the goals of the organisation you served, information power, and value in leadership roles of being given referred power by your peers. These philosophies have stood me in good stead in the arts, education and women's group in which I have worked. It's been a broad basis of knowledge and a cornerstone of further lifelong studying programs. Bringing disciplines together is another aim in the mission statement, which is strongly linked to both innovation and lifelong learning. Traditionally, educationalists have created barriers between disciplines. If you're an engineer, you're a quantitative person. If a writer, linguist or artist, a qualitative person. But as you progress in life, you often change direction and weld these disciplines together. All too well, I remember at a national conference of arts bodies in Canberra, the main speaker declared that everybody in the room used exclusively the left-hand side, the creative side of their brain. I was to be the next speaker as president of Queensland Arts Council, and having been the treasurer for a number of years, with a dollar sign very firmly stamped on my back, I assured the audience there was at least one person present who used both the right and the left side of the brain. The Griffith philosophy is that you can and should bring qualitative and quantitative disciplines together. Skills learnt in one area of training can be transferred to another. For example, the curves needed to be calculated in sheet metal design, I found, could be transferred to pattern making for theatre costumes, whether it be for Elizabethan, medieval or restoration plays. Griffith has constantly brought disciplines together and established the integrated degrees. Today, more than ever, with changing employment opportunities and longer periods of voluntary and mandatory time out of employment during a lifetime, these cross-training, retraining and flexible delivery of educational programs are essential. No longer can a professional person expect to stay the whole of his life in one job as they could 50 years ago. Most of you as graduates will experience a variety of employment opportunities and have to cope with constant change as new professions evolve. You will apply your graduate and undergraduate training in a myriad of ways. Bringing disciplines together at a tertiary level of education is very important, for the social implications of policy and management style is equally as important as the financial outcome. Too often, the dollar profit of a business is the only criteria for success. In non-profit or voluntary organisations, the concept of will you, as opposed to the you will, management style is essential to achieve the goals of each group. Unpaid work in the home, family businesses and voluntary organisations is extremely important to the Australian economy. The Australian Bureau of Statistics indicate that unpaid work, when quantified for the satellite accounts of the GDP, is equivalent to 61% of the GDP. Under these circumstances, bringing disciplines together to offer suitable management skills for commercial and non-profit organisation makes sound economic sense. The outcomes from tertiary education cannot be appraised by an annual financial statement, for as we proceed through life as Griffith graduates on a series of lifelong learning experience, either formally or informally in different areas, we are amassing human capital for ourselves and for the community. Equity and social justice is not only an objective in the mission statement, it is the responsibility of a Pro-Vice-Chancellor, Professor Margaret Gardner, within Griffith. Since its inception, Griffith has encouraged enrolments from students who have no family background in tertiary institutions and from mature-age students seeking a second chance. The policy is equity and social justice in action and is universal across all our campuses. The policy of equity is excellent, but it is the students and staff who must have what Professor David Limerick described to us as the fire in the belly, as a basic element to achieve our individual goals. It is obvious that today's graduates have followed his precept. The recent West report on tertiary education advocates universal access to post-secondary education. And it is interesting that it acknowledges there are many ways to learn. A quote from the West report reminds us of the diverse cultures that make up Australia. The quote for the Longu people of East Arnhem is, "The sacred fire is burning. The tongues of the fire set alight the tree of knowledge. The sparks will fly across the land in this country we call Australia. We learn from each other, and in this multicultural, multi-campus university, there is much we can learn." At present, being a member of the Multi-Faith Centre Project Task Force is a major learning curve to show what can be achieved in peace and harmony by sharing thoughts and goals, irrespective of differences in cultures. Lifelong, when we learn from each other and cross into new and uncharted activities, we promote equity and the value of social justice. As Pope said, "'Tis education forms the common mind, just as the twig is bent, the tree is inclined." I am extremely grateful to Griffith for enrolling me as a mature-age student, for it was not the twig that was bent, but certainly the old tree became inclined to want to learn more and serve in the community. In the 1940s, the opportunity to continue to upper secondary and fee-paying tertiary education was limited, Places was not available, and I was fortunate to come under the influence of Kathleen Mitford-Lilly, headmistress of Brisbane Girls Grammar School. At BGGS, we were not permitted to claim we could not manage a quantitative subject because we were girls. She insisted we try to do things because we learnt from the experience, and she demanded from us some form of service to the community. So 50 years ago, as a young old girl, I commenced my involvement in voluntary community activities. Today, there is no limit to equal opportunity, with dozens of degree courses open and a multitude of career paths to be trodden in the search for new knowledge. On conferences as a representative from National Council of Women of Australia to the International Council of Women, it was evident just how fortunate we are in Australia with our policies of equity and social justice. Often when women in developing countries do receive education, they establish cottage industries that significantly contribute to the economy. Informal education from generation to generation by craft skills or orally is often equally as important as formal education to achieve even minimal equity. Lastly, internationalisation is the goal of the Griffith mission statement. Before World War II, we were an island and happily isolated ourselves from its neighbours. After 1945, we slowly realised that Australia actually belonged to the Pacific Asia region. In the 1960s, a number of secondary schools introduced Asian languages, and Griffith followed this trend when it opened and offered a degree in Asian Studies. Its policy of internationalisation has not been confined to the Asia-Pacific region. Griffith has signed a number of memoranda of understanding with universities around the world, established centres to promote internationalisation, and welcomed overseas students. It has been in the forefront to internationalise tertiary education through exchange of information and knowledge. As graduates, I am sure you benefited from the fact that during your degrees, students from many countries worked and studied together. The policy of internationalisation also enhances the employment opportunities of our Griffith graduates. Knowledge gained in personal experience of other cultures is always rewarding and often sheds a new light on what we consider normal practice. Representation at International Council of Women conferences and contacts with international statisticians and educationalists have shown me that cultural and religious traditions in some instances make it impossible to establish legislative rights we regard as the norm. For instance, some of my Nigerian colleagues who live in a polygamous society expressed their great sympathy for me as a widow because I lived in a monogamous society, as they were sure I would have been the number one wife in their culture and not have to look after myself. These remarks gave me a new look at the polygamy versus monogamy debate. Education is the eye of the mind, and that eye has to look at the mind with many different mirrors when you are working with representatives from 70 countries. To keep pace with the constant change on the international scene, it is more than ever necessary to attempt to maintain the process of lifelong learning. As Dumphy and Dick said, changes begin with me, and each individual must cope with change in their own way. My generation has had to cope with massive technological changes and the economic need for a better skilled workforce to compete internationally. Future generations will have very different changes to cope with, but education is the key to the future. And as Tony Blair said, education is the best economic policy we have, and this is applicable worldwide. In conclusion, how is lifelong learning defined? The Australian College of Educational Research accepted the following definition by Duke. Lifelong or permanent education can be considered as a philosophy incorporating a set of beliefs and goals. Recurrent education is the translation of this philosophy into strategy. Together, they describe an intention to foster reform of the total education enterprise and to move it in the direction of the learning or educative society. In such an ideal educative society, management skills will be in great demand, so it bodes well for our management graduates. I wish all today's graduates lifelong success and hope that all your goals will be achieved. May you find much pleasure in being a Griffin, part lion and part eagle. The feet of the lion firmly on the ground, I hope, will allow you to take advantage of the practical opportunities which open up along your career path. The wings and eye of the eagle, I hope, will give you the strength to fly high and fulfill your visions. Griffith has given us all a valuable asset in our degrees, so please, will you retain your links with your alma mater? Griffith is proud of your achievements, for they are also Griffith's achievements. Rightly, you must be proud of your achievements, not only today, but also in the future, as you progress in your quest lifelong for new knowledge and learning experiences. But heed Confucius when he said, "Learning without thought is labour lost. Thought without learning is perilous." Thank you and good luck for the future.
Deputy Chancellor, it's my pleasure on behalf of all of us this afternoon to thank our latest honorary doctor and our distinguished alumnus for her wonderful address to us this afternoon. I'm not sure I actually knew what a griffin was before it became the cornerstone for Mrs. Bain's address to us, but she of course represents the archetypal griffin. She hasn't mentioned in the course of her address much about fundraising, and she is the chair of the Griffith University Fund. For those of you who have not yet experienced the Yvonne Bain foot in the door on this matter, I advise you to succumb quickly and just make your donations now because it's much simpler. She is very distinguished in many ways, but including as her work as chair of our Griffith University Fund. For those of our graduates who hadn't heard an exposition of the university's mission statement, well, you won't hear a better one than you've had this afternoon from Yvonne Bain, who is one of our most distinguished graduates. She's managed to cast light on all the elements of our mission statement, but in particular, she's left us with the thought that the glue that binds the other elements together is the concept of lifelong learning. Francis Bacon, I hadn't heard that either. At the mature end of the learning spectrum, learning waxeth dry and exhausted is a rather depressing concept, but Mrs. Bain has demonstrated to us that need not be our fate. In many ways, she's expanded our understanding of our mission statement at Griffith, and I'm sure we'll all take away many thoughts from her address. And in particular, she's referred to the work of the university in internationalisation and the inclusive approach we have not only to disciplines of knowledge, but also to cultures. And we greatly benefit from her work and that of many others in supporting the work of our Multi-Faith Centre, which I'm sure we'll be hearing more about in the months and years to come. Ladies and gentlemen, would you join with me again in thanking our speaker, Mrs. Yvonne Bain, for her impressive address. And Mrs Baines already anticipated my next remark in congratulating our graduates on their success and wishing them well in their future careers. May we ask them to stay with Griffith University, particularly by joining the Alumni Association. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, the ceremony is now concluded. When the recessional music begins, please rise and remain standing as the dais and staff parties retire, followed by the graduates.